Well, a pleasant good morning to all of you under the sound of my voice. This is Minister Rick coming to you from Hatchet Bay, Lutheran in the Bahamas. And today I want to talk to us on a subject called grumbling and complaining. I read from Numbers chapter 14, verse 1. And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept all night. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron. And the whole congregation said unto them, Would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God we had died in the wilderness? And wherefore had the Lord brought us unto this land to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be prey? Were it not better for us to return into Egypt? And they said one to another, Let us make a captain, and let us return into Egypt. Now let me dissect this. You see, Jehovah God had delivered the children of Israel out of the hand of Pharaoh, where they were slaves. He allowed the Egyptians to give them their gold, their silver, and their precious stones and gifts when they left Egypt. Yes, they left Egypt rich. When Pharaoh's army followed them, Jehovah God parted the Red Sea for them to cross over. When Pharaoh tried to cross over with his army, when his army tried to cross over, the waters returned and drowned them all. Jehovah provided breakfast in the morning, manna, and dinner in the evening, quail. They didn't have to save any because it was provided for them every day. They didn't need clothes because their clothes grew on them every day. When they got thirsty, God provided water. At one point, Moses was so fed up with their complaining that when God said, Speak to the rock, Moses struck the rock, causing him to disobey God and not make it to the promised land. You see, God was supplying their needs every day. So now it's time to go into the promised land. And the spies went out to spy the land of Canaan. And the good spies said, Yes, we can do this. We can go into the land. There are giants there, but we can beat them. The negative spies said, Oh, no, the giants are too big. They can kill us and they'll destroy us. And so this negative report caused them to grumble and complain, wanting to go back to Egypt. Do you know anybody like this who just like to grumble and complain, even when God is providing and taking care of them? Further on in the book of Numbers, we see the Lord speaking to Moses in the same chapter, telling them in plain words, That's it, I'm done. These people will not go into the promised land. Only Joshua and Caleb. They missed the promised land because of their grumbling and complaining. Will grumbling and complaining cause you to miss your promised land? When we complain, it's frequently evil. But complaining is not necessarily evil. You see, there's a faithful, believing way to complain, and there's a faithless, unbelieving way to complain. Faithless complaining is sinful because it accuses God of wrongdoing. I have chosen not to grumble and not to complain. You will not hear Minister Rick complaining, neither grumbling, not me. I trust God all the way. Faithful complaining is honest and doesn't impugn God. So, Minister Rick, how can I complain without grumbling? Here's what David said in Psalms 142. With my voice, I cry out to the Lord. With my voice, I plead for mercy to the Lord. I pour out my complaint before him. I tell my troubles to him, not to the government, not to the prime minister, not to the punch, not to the talk shows. I tell my problems to Jesus. You see, I've stopped listening to these talk shows because most of the time it's just a bunch of people complaining over and over and over again. And most times not seeking solutions. Sometimes when the hosts give them solutions, they still don't accept the solutions. You see, we don't live in a perfect world. Remember that. We don't live in a perfect world. The Bible says, in this world, you will have tribulation. You will have reasons to complain and reasons to grumble. But Jesus says, take heart. I have overcome the world. John 16:33. You see? So stop it. Stop it. Stop complaining. You don't have to complain. You don't have to grumble. Believe Jehovah God. Trust Jehovah God. Serve Jehovah God. You see, he says, take heart. I have overcome the world. Complaining and grumbling caused the children of Israel not to make it into the promised land. If you are a complainer and a grumbler, you will miss your promised land. Stop complaining. Stop grumbling. And just trust God. He can do anything. Yes, anything. Selah. Think and act on these things. God bless you today.